Happy Lunar New Year everyone, and welcome to my February budget video. I'm going to walk you all through my January budget and how that did, as well as show you all my February budget and where I'm expecting to earn money, save money, and spend money. In case you're new here, I'm Raymond, a software engineer on the path to financial independence and retiring early, and I've managed to save over $180,000 so far. If you'd like to follow me on my journey, feel free to hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, so thank you so much in advance. Starting off with my January budget, everything was relatively calm for the first month of the year. In this case, I only went over budget on one of my line items, which was transit, which was really small amount anyways, so it's not a big deal to me. I did have some unexpected income that did come in though, mostly in the form of two items. The first one is what I mentioned before, of Lunar New Year. In case y'all are unaware, there's a gift-giving practice around Lunar New Year that involves putting cash in red envelopes and giving those to relatives, typically those that are younger than you. For me, being one of the younger folks in my generation of relatives, this works out very well for me. This year, I received a couple $100s from Lunar New Year, and even though that's not a big amount compared to what I have saved up already, it's always a nice gesture and definitely will go towards my goal of financial independence and retiring early. The bigger line item though that contributed so much to my net worth this month is the termination of my whole life insurance plan. Shortly after I was born, my mother took out a whole life insurance plan for myself as a form of savings because they didn't really know much about real estate or stock market or really any other form of savings. It was kind of a way of forced savings for them at the time. Fast forward about 22 years later, and that amount has some cash value in it, although of course not the full face value of that whole plan. In this case, I ran the numbers myself and I've come to the determination that investing that amount of money and cashing out my plan would probably be a net positive over keeping that plan and having that face value benefit on death. I'm not against life insurance policies in general, and I think that it does work for some people, but generally I think that term life insurance offers better terms, no pun intended, than whole life insurance, even if the policy is effectively mostly paid off. Going back to my details though, for my life insurance plan after cashing it out, I have received a total of $11,143.02 for the cancellation of my policy. To me, I view this as the final financial gift that my mother will pass over to me. It's kind of hard to give financial gifts from the afterlife, but really all the help that she has provided, not only in the past year, but over the past 20 odd years, has really been beneficial. So it's kind of a strange thing to let go of something that she's been saving for 20 something years, that I know that she's been saving for 20 something years, but ultimately it's a decision that I've made based on the numbers that I have ran. Moving on to February, I'm also expecting this to be a fairly quiet month, although with a couple of caveats. The first big thing is that I'm going to be finding out my bonus, and I've already actually found out that percentage, which will be paid at 114%. Not 114% of my salary, unfortunately, but just 114% of the base amount, which means that I should be receiving about $10,000 sometime in March. February also marks the availability of some of my tax forms from last year, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get my taxes filed for 2024 by the end of this month. I'm expecting to actually owe the IRS a couple $100, but I don't think that's going to make a big difference in my savings plans. In terms of the numbers for February though, I'm not expecting anything too crazy. $6,261.68 is going to be coming in through a combination of both rental income as well as my paychecks. I'm expecting to be spending about $2,500 this month on just things that I need and some of the things that I want, although some of that does carry over from my funds and medium-term goals, of which I'm going to be saving or spending $3,143.12 from those buckets. Some of this stuff is going towards things like my student loans and medical bills, but some of this other stuff is also just savings for my credit card annual fees, of which I'm going to be paying a lot very soon, as well as travel, which I enjoy as a hobby. All told though, I'm expecting to still be able to save about $4,303.07 towards financial independence and retiring early through a combination of my 401k, HSA, and whatever money is left over at the end of the month. In any case, I'm hoping that February is going to treat me very well, seeing as it's my birth month. But in any case, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.